Hey guys, Gordon Cockerpunk here. I wanted to do the video. I'm moved into my new apartment here, so I wanted to do the video, and the conversation has kind of calmed down as far as our barrel break test, and I wanted to do the video about my thoughts on the barrel break test. Now this is kind of a double conclusion because we already did the other barrel break test, or the other paint to barrel match test, and I'm kind of combining results on this one. But in my take on this test, my take is that ideally we could shoot 10,000 rounds through each barrel, and we could know a lot more about what's going on here. Unfortunately, that's just not realistically true. Not only is there, the paint cost, which again, thanks to ProCaps for donating the paint, be in contact about other tests as well. But not only is there the paint issue, there's the time. It took me and Bryce on the order of about 10 hours, I think, to perform that test. And so, if you talk about shooting 10,000 rounds through 3 different barrels, that's 3 days worth of testing. That's 3 solid days of testing, of just sitting in a lawn chair blasting away. It's a lot. So that realistically this test is about as good as we can do as far as the numbers. So, yeah, that's just realistically what we can do. But the conclusions from it, I will go out and say, over 3,000 paintballs through each barrel, we should get a feel for how important barrel breaks are. And what we found out is that there just isn't a big difference. Statistically, I don't think 7 and 5 and 4 over only 3,000 shots, I don't think that's a huge difference, but it does tell us that barrel breaks happen regardless of the bore size we use. To me, that's what it says. So that overboring, the hypothesis that overboring prevents barrel breaks and that underboring causes barrel breaks, there's no evidence for that in our test at all. And so, combining that with the results of our last test, which showed pretty conclusively that underboring was the best, I'm going to be underboring all my guns from now on. I'm going to be looking for, here's a die, 1-piece aluminum. If you have one of these in .679, .682, I want it. I will pay you money for it. Message me. I love these die barrels, and the smallest one I have is .68 or .686. And so, yeah, I would really like to get some smaller bore barrels, because, like I said, our test, to me, the 7, although it is 50% larger than 5. Or about 45% or whatever, that doesn't mean to me that overboring breaks more paint. I don't think we have enough data to conclude that. But if you want to make some simplifying assumptions and you want to squint really, really hard at the data, you can make some extra conclusions. Now, I'm not going to go into those because, again, like I said, you have to make some assumptions that I'm not willing to publicly make, and you have to squint kind of hard at the data and kind of make some stuff up. And I'm not going to do that. That's not what Punkworks is about. That's not what I'm about. But if we have a chance, if we can figure out a way to shoot more paint and record it easier and get all that paint, then further testing on this one I would love to do. Until then, this is about realistically all we can do. So the conclusion, though, here is that the hypothesis that a tight barrel breaks more paint, no. There's no evidence for that. I'm not going to say, though, that the small barrel breaks less paint than the big barrel, because I don't think we have enough evidence for that. So that's what I'm going to say about that test. The results are fascinating, and so we're going to keep doing these paint to barrel match tests, because this is one of those things that everybody that everybody does, and everybody has an opinion of, but there's not very much evidence of. So we'll probably do an accuracy one coming up sometime, probably winter break or maybe one of these weekends in October or so. I'd love to do an accuracy, Painted Brown Magic accuracy test. But till then, my recommendation is that you underbore by 3 to 4 thousandths. That's going to be my recommendation. Blow test it, go down 2 inserts. That's what I say. Until then, I'll talk to you later. Alright.